Hi, this is Dory. Welcome to Stories by Dory, my crafting journey. In this video, you will learn how to pick out and compare different fonts using Wordmark.it. I have this on my craft room wall. I struggle all the time trying to pick out a font for a project, but I have a great solution for that. I'm over in Cricut Design Space right now, and I have typed out some text, and I now want to find a font to choose. So if I use my drop down for my font selection, I can either come in and type a specific font to find one, or of course I can just browse through the many different fonts that are in my system or on Cricut. But to me, this is kind of a difficult way to come in and select fonts. Not only that, if I really want to be able to compare a couple of fonts, I typically will need to duplicate and then go in and pick a different font to compare. But we're going to take a look at a different way of doing that using a site called Wordmark.it. I'm over in Wordmark.it right now, and I'm going to go ahead and type in a phrase, picking out a font, and then I'm going to go ahead and enter. Right now I'm looking at all fonts. I'll just go ahead and click on your font, so this will bring me in just my fonts. I did have to download a Chrome extension, and you can just go ahead and search for Wordmark extension for Chrome and then go ahead and download it so I can see all of my fonts. But this is a little easier for me to be able to take a look at all of the fonts in one place. I can, as I'm scrolling through, select the font. And once I click on the font, it will show me that it is selected with the outline around it. And I can pick out fonts. I now have 2 fonts selected, and I can continue going through the list, picking out fonts that I might want to use within my project. And once I have a number of fonts selected, I can go ahead and click on Filter Selected Fonts. This brings in the fonts that I have filtered, and from here, if I identify a font that might not work well for the type of cutting I'm doing, so for example, this font has very thin places, so I might want to go ahead and remove that from my list. I can always go back to Show All Fonts and add more. So I use this quite a bit. Once I've picked out, at least narrowed it down, I can go back into Cricut Design Space and pull in my font. I actually have the version of this, the Pro version, and on the Pro version it is pretty minimal amount, so $27 US for a year, and it does give me some additional access to organize my fonts, to be able to export them out, use Google Fonts, etc. One of the things that I really like about the professional version is I can actually, when I'm looking at my fonts, picking out a font, I actually can come in and look at my tagged fonts. So I've got some tagged fonts right now, and I've tagged them as font duos. So this again allows me, if I'm trying to pick something out, to pick out maybe a few, for example, a skinny font, again paired with perhaps a bolder script font. Well, picking out one font is hard enough. Sometimes you want to have more than one font in your design. So here are a few tips on font pairing. Use opposite styles. Use a skinny font with a bold script font. Use sans serif with serif font. The word styles, for example, is done using a serif font. The little decorative stroke that finishes off the end of the letter is the serif part. Keep it simple. 2 fonts are better than 1. 3 fonts is usually okay, but don't go crazy. And finally, don't forget, if you're going to use fonts in a design that you're going to sell, make sure that you get a commercial license for the use. Thank you for watching the video. If you found this helpful, if you could please take a moment to like my video, leave a comment, and please subscribe to my channel.